Good evening, good evening, good evening. Yes, it is me. We're just waiting for Wayne to join us, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be really nice because I've completely forgotten to do the intro. I have, you know. So, how's about we have the Dark Mirror intro if I can find a frickety thing. Ah, here it is. Right. So, just waiting for Wayne. I will now play the Dark Mirror intro. Did you like that? Did you? Did you like that? And it's as if by magic he appears. Look at that! Wow!
Hello.
Fucking amazing. Put the music on. Poof. Wayne appears. Yeah, mate.
And I'm sorry for my 1 minute 24 seconds lateness.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I was just yapping, and I was yapping to Rachio. She's just taking the dog out, and I was going, "Do I start? Then I start. Do I start? Then I start." Yeah, fuck it. By the time I started, it'll be on.
No, sorry,
Right.
I was having a conflab with two bosses, and we got a bit carried away with the conversation, and then I'm like, Mark, quick. So I had to leave the conversation and return.
All good.
Yes, all good. Very all good. I'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah. No worries. I am being literally. Lilo's at the side of the laptop screen, and she keeps going, and then back again.
I've got that. I've got a scary spectre keeps looking at me as if to say, "What you doing?"
Do you know what? I tell you what. I don't know why you keep statues of your ex there. I really don't.
This one actually got broken. It was out in the garage during Halloween, and it fell off and smashed at the bottom. But luckily, because it's resin, a little bit of UHU glue, and it sorted it out. So
cool. I have to admit, I don't know about any of you guys out in the chat room. Hi Rita, hi Annette, hi everybody else. I am. Is it this weekend or is it Friday? Thursday or Friday? I'm going up in the loft and getting the decorations down. I am. I'm going up the loft and I'm going to get the Christmas decorations down. And I've just realised I didn't put my light on it, so it's a bit dark. So I need to.
that is something we are going to be doing over the next week or two as well. We are also doing something very similar to what I do at Halloween at the front of the house.
Yeah.
I'm in charge of Halloween. Ellen's in charge of Christmas. So
To be honest,
got to retrieve all the decorations down, see what we've got, see what we need. I've been ordering extra Christmas decorations off of Temu over the last couple of weeks.
Oh, really? I would never have known.
And we are going to be decorating it outside the front of the house as well.
Do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Every message I get from this guy isn't, "All right, mate, how you doing?" It's fucking Temu. Join my Temu. And then I'll get it from Ellen. And then I'll get it from anybody else that knows him. Yeah, bollocks there.
This is one of my favourite purchases. Just look at the size of it.
Oh, is that put on an interior door?
It's a rug.
That's a rug?
It's a runner rug.
Wayne, you didn't tell me you were going bald, mate.
He is actually up here.
No, I've got a spot there.
Oh, God, yeah, I can see it. To be honest, you've got way more hair than I fucking have, so I'm just jealous. All my hair's here.
All right, that's the headboard that's done that.
Do you want a smack?
So, no, because then he'll lose another bit of hair and we'll have nobody else to help me do the fucking show. Leave him alone. Oh, dear. But yeah,
we're looking at donations for white sheets that nobody ever wants.
You don't want my white sheets, mate.
No, it's just so that
yeah.
we're going to cover the front garden where I had all the Halloween decorations. We're going to literally cover everything in white sheets so it looks like snow.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put the Christmas
Sponsored
decorations.
by Greg's and Aliens.
Alien Greg's. And then we're going to do the decorations so it looks like it's been snowing. But
That's good. That's good.
we had a look in. We got a shop that turns up every Christmas, selling Christmas decorations and stuff. And we had a look at the blankets, the white fake snow blankets that they had, and they were like $5.99 for 2 meters. And I'm like, nah, I don't want paying that much for 2 meters.
No, wrong one. That one. And the cat meowed right on cue. The cat's got your balls, mate.
He's still waiting for his balls to turn up.
Yeah, the cat's got them. The cat just said meow. Are we talking flashing balls, Eric? Are we talking flashing balls? Hello, Charles. Welcome thank you for joining us from Texas. You sent me a hello the other day, and I sent one back. So yeah, welcome to the show.
Cynthia, hello.
So yeah, Texas, the home of who is it? Chuck Norris lives there, doesn't he? Chuck Norris. Yeah. Yeah, Rachel's the Christmas mad person with decorations. She's got more nutcrackers than is safe for me around here, I tell you. Balls for your REM balls. Yeah. So yeah, you got my decorations and you got all Rachel's decorations all up in the loft. So I'm going to drag them all out and the wrapping paper, and we're going to get busy this weekend. We might even get some decorations done as well.
We usually do ours on Tamsin's birthday. No, do ours. Do it the day before, so it's the first one to wake up to.
What?
Yeah.
What?
And that.
Eric is a ball bag.
No, Ellen wants to put the Christmas decorations up the day before Tamsin's birthday, so that she wakes up to a nice little pretty surprise.
That'd be nice. That'd be really cool for her.
Because Tamsin's birthday is on the 1st of December. So we always put the decorations up around that time, but we want to get them all up this time, sort of overnight while she's asleep. So she wakes up and comes downstairs and everything's all sparkly.
You have just reminded me, those of you in the chat room, those of you who are watching, and those of you who are watching on the Things Network, Simply Spooky Network, and out there in YouTube land. Hi, Irene, all the way from Tokyo. We will be live at the Skegness. What's that place?
Church Farm.
Church Farm. We'll be there on it's the 2nd, isn't it? 2nd of December.
Yes.
Yes. Wayne and myself will be there with the Dark Mirror Show live on the 2nd of December. Tickets will be for sale soon. As soon as we get the links, I'll put them up there for you. If you want to come and meet us and shout aliens in my face, you're more than welcome to. If you would like an autograph, I can't promise an autograph from the cat or the ghost, but if you'd like an autograph, we will certainly sign things, or I can get the dog to dip a paw in ink and stuff. But yeah, we'll be there. Join us for a ghost hunt. We'll be there looking at UFOs up in the sky, because last time we were there, we had a UFO go over the head, didn't we?
Yep.
So we'll be there on the 2nd of December. All right, so remember that. Put it in your diaries. Anyway, back to
or in your phone.
Or in your phone, yeah. Irene wants an autograph. I tell you what, Irene, you PM us your address and we'll send you an autograph. All right. When we're down there on December, we'll do one together. We'll do a picture together and we'll do a little autograph thing and we'll send it off to you. How's that? Yeah.
I to be honest, I think I still got Irene's Christmas card she sent me last year.
There you go.
I don't know where it is though. I absolutely love that Christmas card. I think it's brilliant.
Well, I'll send you my address as well, Irene. You can send me a Christmas card as well. Anybody wants to send Christmas cards to the Dark Mirror Show, you're more than welcome. Eric, you want an autograph as well? You can have an autograph as well, mate. Actually, send us your address, Eric, and we'll send you. Wayne and I will send you a Christmas card because you're part of the team anyway. So, anybody else out there, if you want to see us, we'll be there in Skegness on the 2nd of December. All right. More details will come up as we know them. Right. So, this week, what has been going on? The Mexican Senate and the American Senate.
And the American Senate.
Yeah, let's start with the Mexican Senate. Hey, Chihuahua! They've actually got those alien bodies that everybody said was fake and this, that, and the other, and they've actually done the scans at last. And Wayne, did you see the thing I put up on the wall? You didn't, did you?
No, but I went down some rabbit holes.
Right. Well,
I
tell us your rabbit holes. But before we do that, hang on. Shush. They did a scan. They did the full body scan. The bones were hollow. Over to Wayne.
Over to me.
Yeah. Not your
Okay.
bones are hollow. The alien bodies were hollow. Yeah.
Sounds hollow. Well, I obviously you sent me the links to the various videos that were out there.
Yep.
I started going down doing a search on away from what you had sent, and there seems to be a lot of conflict going on.
In it, yeah, no, you're completely right there. They're all,
because the guy that has actually come forward and said, we have found these are aliens, these were buried in a mine very close to where the Nazca lines are,
yeah,
which was one of the key things that sparked the interest. They were close to the Nazca lines, which we all know can only be seen from high up, from a position that you can't physically be in unless you're in the sky. The problem then was that they analysed all these bits, and they tend to be about 3 foot tall.
Sorry to put in. Can you talk for a minute? Rachel has just slipped straight over it in the mud and hurt herself. I need to go and just quickly make sure she's all right. Are you all right with that? Sorry, mate. I'll be back in a minute, guys.
Go, go, go!
Yeah.
No blue lights flashing. Get your trainers all up. Off he goes. Anyway, these beings were extremely small. They were only about 3 foot, and they were covered in what appeared to be sand. There appeared to be no joints sort of visible. Completely fossilized, about 1,000 years old. And as Mark said, on X-rays and MRIs, it appears the bones are hollow. Now, the only things that the bones that tend to be hollow or more tubular tend to be birds' bones, or sort of like a reptilian bone structure. So I decided to do a little bit of diving myself. Now, this guy who has come forward to Mexican Congress has been known for faking things in the past. Back in the early 2000s, he had claimed that he had got the body of an alien, and it turned out to be the body, a mummified body of a child that was sacrificed to the gods way back with the Incas. So this guy has already been discredited. And so everybody's pointing the finger at saying that this is purely going to be fake as well.
She's okay. Bloody dog just tried to bite me.
Oh. I was just saying that the guy who has come forward with these bodies has been outed for fakery in the past.
Yeah, he has.
And where he'd got a mummified body, claiming it was an alien, and it turned out to be that of a mummified child that had been sacrificed to the gods by the Incas.
Yeah.
And so it's a case of, is he trying it again? To me, these bodies look a little bit too far-fetched. They don't look real to me. From
what I've read, yes, he has, and he's been done for it before, and that rings alarm bells straight away. However, the CT scan they did, the doctors and everything said it's one complete unit. It's not separate things made up to make a whole. It's an actual body. Whether it's I don't know, somebody disabled back then. I don't know whether it's somebody like me or smaller or a kid with something wrong. I don't know. But it is an actual body. How this guy got hold of him, I don't know. But the fact that he has done fakery before does not add any credibility to this.
No.
However, the medical experts, it's only the medical stuff that's maybe go, oh, okay. And when you put in that in conjunction with their thing that they said about that cave where they found thousands of bloody reptilian-like skeletons, and they're going to investigate next year.
There was also one. There was one that I also found where it turned out that one of these beings was pregnant.
That's right. Yes, and it was eggs, wasn't it?
Had fallopian tubes and it had eggs still.
Yeah.
Again, not exactly an easy thing to fake, to be honest.
No, exactly.
So it's awkward, and it goes back to what we said about for all the people that go out putting authentic videos out there, there will be dozens that will put disinformation out there. And the odd thing was, while I was looking at all this business with Mexican Congress, I come up with something about Travis Taylor.
Oh, go on.
And I don't know how Travis Taylor has been linked with Mexican Congress. I think it may be with the fact that Mexican Congress and the American Congress were sort of almost going in conjunction with each other.
Right, yeah.
But Travis Taylor got mentioned in one of these links. When I put in Mexican Congress aliens, Travis Taylor was mentioned. And Travis Taylor is being accused of being one of the people putting disinformation out there. Now, anybody that knows anything about the Curse of Skinwalker Ranch and the disclosure stuff that's been going on in American Congress, Travis Taylor is quite well known in the astrophysicist field and is on the show Curse of Skinwalker Ranch.
And I quite liked him as well.
Secrets of Skinwalker Ranch.
He added a sense of knowledge to the
yeah, and oddly enough, in that program, I don't see where he could be saying there's disinformation going on, because as soon as they see something, he's quick to point it out. He's quick to highlight it. He will get people to record it. He will share that information. Now, someone that would be purposely going out spreading disinformation wouldn't have gone to that extreme on that show. I know, obviously, because that show is going out worldwide and people know it, that he doesn't want to risk discrediting himself. But you wouldn't put this information out and then come out with a show like that. It didn't make much sense.
Have you noticed that all the ones who've been coming out and saying, well, this is this and this and that, and now Travis Walton from the start has been, although he's a theoretical particle physicist and all this stuff, he's come out from the start and said, we're not the only people in the cosmos. We're not the only, blah, blah, blah. And he's never been silent about it. He's always said that. But have you, again, I say, boy, have you noticed that with everybody who's credible that comes out and says, well, actually, this could be because of this. This could be because of that. This could be because of this. And it could be aliens. It could be everything else, somebody will come out and try to discredit them and say, oh, no, they're doing this and they're doing that and they're doing this because of this. And then, and it's just like the Second World War when you had all the naysayers going around saying all this shit about the what did they call it? There's a word for it when you put out all the stuff, all the propaganda in it. Propaganda, when they put out anti-propaganda. You know what I'm talking about, you ass.
When you put out the propaganda, what's the word? Propaganda.
No. When you've got the ones that put out the propaganda, and then you got the ones from the same country that go underneath subversive, and then they start doing all the naysaying. That.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That stuff. But yeah, I'm surprised we haven't got people saying those Dark Mirror boys. Oh, you want to be careful? They probably do anyway. In which case, yes. But all the ones that are worth their salt will always get people naysaying and poo-pooing.
But the problem is now is there is so much of it happening now that the days of the likes of Project Blue Book coming along and trying to discredit somebody
Can't
and
do
try to keep somebody quiet. You can't do it now.
And people can't
There's
disappear now either.
too many people know too many people, and you know it would be so difficult to turn up at someone's house and go, "Keep your gob shut, mate, or you're going to disappear." Because like we said, because of everything that's going on nowadays with social media, it is so hard to try and stop it. You know,
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard him. He just said it's so hard. Stop it. He's got too many kids that did it.
You did this last week. But going back to that, I mean, you know, Travis Taylor, I can't see why he would be responsible for putting disinformation out there. But when you look at this guy that brought this, discovered these aliens, again, I don't see. It's difficult because of what he did previously. But whether he made an honest mistake and he did think it was a bit bizarre because this body was perfectly preserved, but in a way that deformed it to make it look like it wasn't human. You know, and he could have made a simple mistake. However, they've discredited him for it. Now, when he turns up again 10, 15 years later and says, I found aliens again, people are going, oh, for God's sake, you did this the last time and it would prove to be fake. So they're going to straight away try to discredit him from the start because of his previous.
I've just remembered something. Do you remember back along? We showed a video on here, and we talked about that tomb that was found in, I want to say, Afghanistan, and it had those 8-foot tall bodies that looked like they were asleep. Do you remember? Blue skin, purple skin, and all that lot. And they were supposed to have been, Anunnaki. I can't find anything about that recent. Any recent stuff about that? Nothing. And you would have thought that if that was real, we'd all fucking know about it by now.
There seems to be all of a sudden radio silence with things like the Anunnaki.
Yep.
I don't know whether it's the algorithms that run Facebook videos or TikTok, but I could look on either and I would always come across something to do with the Anunnaki. Then all of a sudden, things are just sort of thinned out. Lucky to find one video on the Anunnaki, unless I put a specific search in. But it always used to come up all the time. I used to get inundated with them. But it made it, I think what made my skepticism of this guy change was when I looked at another video of some guys in, I think it was Siberia. They were Russian, these guys, and it had been chucking it down with snow. And these guys were just walking around the woods, and they found underneath like what looked like a fallen tree in a little sort of like a snow dugout, a being that looked exactly the same as the ones that this guy in Mexico had found. Only just a little bit smaller, almost identical. And this thing was defrosted and it was in the snow, but its physical appearance was exactly the same as these three bodies that he took to Congress. So, and that's Russia. Completely different continent, but the beings looked almost identical.
Well, there's been pyramids found in Russia, haven't there?
So, well, they're all over the place, aren't they? There's one in Romania.
That's right. And they think that at last we've been saying that there's more to the bloody pyramid, haven't we? For years, how many years have we been saying on the show there's more to the pyramids than just being the tomb of kings? It's not just
Helicopters. They've been doing it all evening.
Yeah, they're ramping up for stuff, but you know, now they're starting to come out, and I've seen some of the papers on it. The people are starting to come out and say, actually, there's more to the pyramids than just being tombs. And it's like, oh, we told you. But American.
I haven't really looked much into the American Congress because I was too busy going down rabbit holes with this other one.
It's fascinating, isn't it, when you go down one rabbit hole and then you see all this other stuff coming up.
This one is got
It's the police again. They're probably looking for that Braverman woman. She's probably now she's homeless. I don't know.
Who?
Ex-Home Secretary.
Bit of a dick, isn't she? Sorry.
She was the only one that stood up for the public. That's why she got kicked out. Sorry. We've changed. We've digressed. We've moved. What's going on? Help. Do anyone not believe in alien life from stars?
I think Bible Belt. We do know the Bible Belt, and it's we're not poo-pooing religion or anything like that, so don't worry.
No.
Whoever's religious or spiritual, whatever, each to their own, and we're not going to poo-poo it. But I will say, if you are just going to stand there with, well, sit there with your head in the sand, going, there is one Almighty God. My big invisible sky being is better than your big invisible sky being. There's nobody else outside of our planet. There's a big plastic bubble all around the Earth called the firmament. Just no, wake up, smell the roses. The Voyager 1 and Voyager 1's left the galaxy, and Voyager 2 is almost on leaving our galaxy as well.
Voyager 1's just left the solar system.
Sorry, yeah. So no, there is no firmament. The only thing we've got is the ionosphere. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop.
Alexa, play Tubular Bells.
It's playing an alarm. No, Alexa, stop! Shut up! Right, where's the mute? Where's the mute for this? Right, it's bloody playing. Right.
Oh, fun with Alexa.
It's still playing it. Stop. Right. You.
The thing is that, and we've saying all this before, when you look at like you said it right from the word go, you look at all the belief systems. Now, all the belief systems are all in relation with each other. Yep. They're just worded differently. They all have roughly the same timelines.
Yep. Same events.
Big event things that happen in each of these religious contexts all happen around roughly the same time. Yep. But then you've got the fact that you look at things that are missing from scriptures, things that are missing from the Christian Bible, things that are missing from the Quran. Every religious text goes right the way back to before the beginning. There is something before the beginning, and the religious books withhold all of that. You look at the Dead Sea Scrolls, there are vast amounts of Dead Sea Scrolls that never made it into the Bible. And that was because they picked and chose what to put into the Bible so that people would follow that way. If Mary Magdalene, the book of Mary Magdalene, was to be put into the Bible, all hell would have broken loose because that belief system wouldn't be put in place.
I watched something the other day that was very, very interesting, and it suggested, now, for you guys who are religious, this is not my opinion, this is not Wayne's opinion, this is not the Dark Mirror radio show's opinion. This is something that is going around on the internet at the moment, okay? So I'm only telling you what to watch. It said that Jesus and the Prophet Muhammad and a few of the other really famous characters from all the different religious texts were actually hybrids, and they'd been experimented on and put in vitro in the womb of the mums and stuff, hence the virgin births and everything. And that's why they had all these weird powers, and that's why they had the persuasive powers to make people follow them and this, that, and the other, and they could do all this weird and wonderful stuff. When you look at I'll give you one thing from the Bible and from alien UFO sightings. And Wayne knows this one, and you guys out there watching this and listening to this, you probably agree. What's the first thing you see? What's the first thing anybody sees normally in a UFO sighting? Well, all you guys out there, what's the first thing you see with an alien or UFO sighting? Hang on a second. I love this. I live deep in the Bible Belt in Texas, and the belt is unbuckled now. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Eric's got the prize. The first thing you see is lights. Wayne and I, when we saw that UFO together at Skegness, it was a light, and the light went ping and flashed. Now, in the Bible, it talks about Mary, the North Star, and it followed her. The light in the sky followed her and appeared directly over where she was. What's the first thing that people see? Lights, and then they see the lights moving in the sky, and in some cases, lights follow them.
And the three kings and the wise men, they all followed a star.
Yep.
Well, a light.
Our Shinto religion. Hang on, this is interesting. Our Shinto religion is from aliens who brought the belief only to the people who belong to the royals. I belong to the Shinto because my mother's family and their ancestors and statues. It's hard to explain, but it's the highest level of Buddhism. I know about Shinto. That's interesting. But yeah, all UFO sightings start with a light that's seen, and it's followed, or it moves, or whatever. The Book of Enoch was left out. The Book of Mary Magdalene was left out. There are a lot of the scrolls that say we are not the first humans. We are humans Mark III, Mark IV, whatever. There was people before us. There were precursors before us. There's the scrolls that talk about the huge ancient megacities that were around the world, and there was only a few of them, but they were linked. Atlantis was one of them, and it talks about it. And it talks about the big cock up where the power plant went bang and wiped out all of Atlantis, and that created the tsunami that wiped out 90% of everything on Earth. And that tsunami is the biblical flood that's in every single religious text. It all links, it's all there, and all the evidence is there. All we need to do is open our eyes a hell of a lot more. But people are now, at last, people are waking up and going, hang on a minute, we've been lied to for a long time. And again, this thing that said that I was watching that said the religious icons were hybrids and this, that, and the other. They didn't know they were hybrids. They've been done in a tube and then put into a human woman. But they were saying that religion was done and started by the aliens as a way for us to govern ourselves and control us, and as a way to explain aliens and their craft and their technology. So.
But that in itself is the thing, isn't it? Is when you look at things like the pyramids were all roughly built around the same period, and yet they're in different continents, and they're in continents where, you didn't.
They're incontinent.
Yeah, they were incontinent. That's why they wore nappies. These pyramids are in different continents, where you can't just
line up.
You can't hop on a plane and go from South America to North America, or South America to North Africa, or into the middle of Europe. These were places that you couldn't just get to just like that. But these pyramids were all sort of appearing all over the world, all in roughly the same time period, where intercontinental travel wasn't possible.
Well, you've got those statues that are in South America that depict they're big heads, the big heads that are in South America in the jungles, and they depict people of African descent, and it's got African faces, and it was saying how the hell. And then when you look at the Emerald Scrolls of Thoth, and when you look at the Ancient Kings list, and then if you look at the Legend of the Anunnaki, it says that they used to pick people up from all around the world, take them to where all the gold was, and they go and mine there, and they come back at the end of the day, and these craft that could go "Patoing!" and have you from one place to another in a matter of seconds or minutes, and that will explain why in South America you've got these statues. And yes, as Charles has said, the stories from the old Egyptian text. The Egyptians talk about the people before us. They talk about the gods in their flaming sky chariots and this, that, and the other. And
you've got the Sumatran texts as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Who were said to be the actual ancestors of the Anunnaki.
That's right.
So
even
they come out with that with the Sumatrans, and then the Babylonians after that. It's
there. Everything is there for us to, if we just open up our eyes and open up our minds a bit more. Like we've said before, that refined, was it a depleted uranium? 1.5 billion years old, found in a mine in Russia. You don't get it in nature. You don't get it in nature whatsoever. It has to be done by man.
Nature doesn't produce it.
Yeah, can only get it done by refining. So how the hell is 1.5 million year old depleted uranium there? But for those of you who think that we are like we're not. We are not the first intelligent beings here. We're not the first civilizations that have been here.
I think a lot of it is because for the last 2,000 odd years, we've all been sort of pushed in a direction.
Yeah, religion.
The religions of the world and the belief systems that are out there, because I'm not necessarily saying just religions, but belief systems, full stop, have guided people in certain directions. And as they've been guided in those directions, certain aspects of things that were obvious have been removed.
Yeah. Or altered to fit the narrative.
Yeah, they've altered the narrative, or they've been removed from sight and sound, so that you forget them. And over the generations that come after, these things have been pushed to one side until they're forgotten. Come across one today. English Heritage have removed Christmas Day and New Year's Day from the calendars, but kept other things in, like Diwali. Now, that is a process of making you forget certain things. You know, if you can push something like Christmas Day out of the way, you're changing things. And in generations to come, Christmas Day may alter. And one of the many rabbit holes I went down was the fact that Christmas Day shouldn't be in December. It should be towards the end of January.
That's right. It's not the actual one. And Father Christmas was real. His tomb is in Turkey.
But how has that happened? That happened because the pagan festival and the Christian festival were a month apart from each other, and they wanted them both together to coincide. So the Christian and the pagan festivals joined forces and put Christmas Day on the 25th of December.
Look at Easter, Esther.
So, you know, it's pushing things in a certain way to make you be happy and content and follow that path. If you don't follow that path, then technically you're an outcast.
Exactly.
You're not like everybody else because you think differently. As far as I'm concerned, Christmas Day is Christmas Day. Remembrance Day is Remembrance Day. Regardless of how much anybody would try to alter your perception of it or alter the date, it will always be that time period, regardless. And I think that's what they ultimately try to do with the possibility of there being beings coming here from other planets. We know, you know, the majority of people that do believe and do look down the rabbit holes like we do, know that they're going to be at least 5,000 years more advanced than we are.
Oh, God, yeah.
Now, if you look at how human beings have progressed in 2023 years, there's a big difference. Our technology has gone crazy in those 2023 years. So you can imagine the level of increase in technology in 5,000 years. Exactly.
I mean, what the flip was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Just completely gone out of my head. It's gone. Yeah, the technology and things. It explains. Well, the thing that we've spoken about before. Again, we don't poo-poo religion. We're not against anybody who's religious. Because of the things that we read when we research and the stuff we've seen, and we chat quite regularly about things. And when you do go down these rabbit holes, as Wayne and anybody else who does these shows and does the research will tell you, when you go down there, you find things out, you go, what the fuck? That you never knew. And then when you find out about religion and you find out so many things that when you read it, you go, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Angels and demons were actually the good side of one lot of aliens and the bad side of another lot of aliens. The bad side didn't like the fact that we were being looked after. We'd had our genes manipulated and we were the favorites of the good aliens. So they started a war with the good ones. Hence why you get angels who could fly around and had all these weapons. And you had demons who could still fly around and had all these weapons. One was white, one was light, one was dark, one was white, one was black, yin yang. It was a war. There's places in India and all across Asia and there's parts of Europe where thermonuclear radiation has hit the ground about 25,000 years ago. And it's hit the ground and it's still there. And the radiation signature is still there. And there's been other high energy weapons that have hit the ground. They found what they think is either Sodom or Gomorrah. And they've said that there's signatures there of high energy weapons that have just completely wiped out that place in one hit. And when you read that after what you've read in the Bible, you go, "Oh my God! It was an errant strike from the war that was going on. It hit that city." It all makes a lot of sense. You've just got to open this a bit and read a lot more.
And I think, again, that is something that's sort of drummed into us at a very young age. And you look at the likes of schools today. You know, schools are teaching the children diversity when it comes to things like religion and stuff like that. So they're going down Christian path, Islam and Hindus, Buddhists. They're sort of going with the diversity. So they're teaching everybody a bit of everything. And what they are doing in that process is, because they're saying there is, in this religion, this one God rules supreme. In this religion, this God rules supreme. But then when you go back further back, you go backwards.
It was never just one.
To before then, it was more than one God. So
it's always a Parthenon.
No one really ever turned around and said, "Well, how come it's gone from a handful of gods to just one God? Why did it go from, Zeus and all these other gods and the Roman gods, where you had a God for everything? Then all of a sudden it's, see you later, just one God only."
Again, this is all stuff we've spoken about before, and it's prevalent. It's just as prevalent now as it was then. Every single religion, as Wayne's just said, had a Parthenon of the gods, a group. You had a head god, and then you had a separate god that did this, and this. The Egyptians, the Romans, the Greeks, the Celts, the Druids, everybody had them. It was only was it Akhenaten who turned around and said, "Nah, there's only going to be one God, me," and that's where the monotheism came from, and that was a man's ego that developed that. One man's ego, that was it. It wasn't a god; it was one man who was made of flesh and blood, who just was a bit of a twat, really, quite frankly. And he said there will be one God, and he was known as the heretical king, wasn't he? And he tried to get rid of all the old gods. But again, if you set everything up and look at the different Parthenons of gods with each religion, you'll see that each god does the same thing as their opposite in the next religion, and the next religion, and the next religion, and the next religion. It's the same people. They've just got technology way, way, way in advance of whatever we've got even now, and they could do their some sort of, I don't want to say disguise. I reckon they got a thing they could just flick a switch and they appeared and looked like whatever that civilization would recognize as a god. And
well, the thing is again, if you look at it, 5,000 years more advanced. Can you imagine how much more advanced we will be as human race in 2,000 years' time?
Well, we've already got half of the technology, but because of what's going on, and that's what I'm going to get to in a minute about the US Senate thing, because of what's going on, and everybody's cottoning on to the fact now that we actually have a hell of a lot of technology that will put us 200 years ahead of what we are now. All these black ops and everything are trying to hide everything and deny it all, but there's laws coming in now that they're trying to pass where all these secret
You've got no choice.
Black ops and stuff have to come out and admit everything. They have to come out. They have to say it. We all know that half of them are going to lie through their teeth, but a lot of the stuff that's been hidden for the last 90 years is going to come out at last. We all know there are people from other planets. Yes, we know this. The US government and the British government have turned around and said, yes, there are. The Italian government has, the Mexican government has, and the
Chinese and the Russians have.
Yes. So it's common knowledge now. We are not alone in the universe. It has been confirmed. It's no longer, what if. It's not Chinese whispers anymore. It's real. They are here. They've been here for at least 90 years, but from what we can work out, especially with the stuff in the Vatican archives, they've been here for thousands of years, and I think they were here before we were here. They just keep coming back. And it's about time they popped up and said hello, quite frankly, because with everything that's going on in this world today, we need. I heard that what's going on in the Middle East is a deliberate cover-up so that we don't watch what's actually going on. Make of that what you will, but yeah.
Well, oddly enough, I'd heard something to do with the fact that it's all about oil and gas again.
Oh, there's a surprise.
So Just Stop Oil protesters, try going over there rather than protesting on our streets and stopping our ambulances and fire crews getting through to emergencies and deliberately ruining paintings and buildings for no apparent reason.
Yeah. See, protesters, if you want to protest, yeah, that's absolutely fine. And a lot of you do it for very, very good reasons. But then you get the idiots who join it and go, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And they cause so much trouble. And it just makes all these ones who do it for a good reason look like complete and utter toss rags. You know?
I think what gets on my nerves more than anything is they do the protest in places where what difference is that going to make? They want to do these protests. They should go to the protests where it will make a difference, not where it won't make a difference.
There was that guy in Mexico, wasn't it? There was the Just Stop Oil things protesting, and they blocked the road. And the guy went over and was trying to move the rocks. One of them confronted him, and he pulled a gun out.
Shot him.
Yeah, he shot two people, killed two people. You know, and it's like, can you justify that? Can you not justify that? I can understand the people over there being pissed right off with them.
Yeah,
because they're putting people down to work.
I think how the story went with that was there was an altercation between the two of them. There was a heated exchange.
Yeah,
and one of them turned around and said, "If you're going to do it, shoot me." So he did.
He did.
And he's now getting done for having an unregistered firearm, as well as the actual shooting itself. So
He's an old guy, well, wasn't
he? Yeah, but and he was a lawyer as well.
Not anymore.
But I think it's going to take an event such as something from another planet coming down and going, do you know what? You lot are acting like a bunch of dicks. Sort it out.
Yeah.
And I think a good majority of the world is going to step back and go, oh my God, and start pooping themselves and realise that we ain't alone, and they've got more power over us than we think. Just in the sheer rate of technology that they've got, they would be able to walk over us without any issues whatsoever. No Independence Day garbage, because if they wanted to eliminate us with 5,000 years head start in technology, they'd be able to do it just like that.
Have you seen the new War of the Worlds series where they emitted a noise and everybody just dropped down dead?
Yeah.
Hi, Viv. Yeah, I'm. It's exactly that in it. If they wanted to, they could. But when you look at all the things that are going around, it's supposed to be two lots of malevolent beings, but the rest of them are actually all right, and they're trying to help us. Join the Galactic Federation, isn't it? Come out and be. There's two types of woke. There's woke going on where people are knobheads, and there's woke going on where people are actually going, oh yeah, there are aliens and this, that, and the other. I'm on about the alien type of woke. They want us to be woke enough that they can go, hey guys, we're here. So yeah, I think that is possibly coming. And from what I've heard, and from what Wayne and I have been talking about all these bloody years, it's happening. Well, now, but it's just a matter of as and when it comes out for the public domain. But I think it's going to be very soon. What do you guys think?
I think something's going to happen soon. I wouldn't be surprised with the increase of UFO sightings. I mean, I never ever till September last year, I would have never thought I would ever see something I could not explain in our skies.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking as ex-Royal Air Force. I pretty much up until about 2000, 2005, I could have pretty much told you just about every plane that was in our sky.
The shit that you and I've seen weren't planes.
What we saw in September last year was no plane I've ever seen.
Nope.
Um,
As big as a football
and
field.
anything we have all relies on propulsion.
Yeah.
What we saw had no propulsion, yet
That
it
thing
moved.
was silent. That was
And
silent.
Boy, did it shift. You know, and you could turn around and say, yeah, okay, red mercury and the anti-gravity systems that are being developed and all of this, that, and the other.
You Glocker.
Again, this all goes down to the clandestine actions of whatever Bobberments are doing, what experiments, reverse engineering, etc. But they kept it quiet, and they were very good at keeping it quiet, and they were very good at spreading the disinformation and the likes of Project Blue Book, and you know, trying to
Be careful you don't, Viv. Get well soon.
you know, and it's going to get to a stage where no matter, we're already starting to go through that phase where it doesn't matter what governments are saying, Bobberments even, quick, reverse it, rewind.
Yeah.
Don't matter what the Bobberments are saying, the people are just turning around and going, you can't deny it now. And that is why the Congresses of Mexico and America have come about, because the people have finally realized and have turned around and said, you can't hide it from us anymore.
Even our government, there has been dissent in the ranks of most of the, just see Viv's poo emoji, of most of the parties that we've got over here. Our governments over here are some of the most corrupt ever. The one we've got in power at the moment is just the worst, most corrupt Tory bloody bullshit wankers we've ever had in our lives. However, there are people who are coming out on both sides of it and going, they're here. We need to. Nobody's believing your lies anymore. You can't fool the people anymore. We all know they're here. We've got to start telling the truth.
I mean, it's got to a stage where if the people, if the powers that govern the country can't protect the people, who is going to protect the people? It's going to be a stage like we've had this weekend where it will be the people will protect the people.
Yeah.
And the last time that happened in this country, it was civil war.
Yeah.
And it is going to get to that stage again. People have had enough. And it's about time that the powers that be sat back and realised that they're supposed to be working for us. So why aren't they? And something like ET coming down and going, greetings, I come in peace. Here's some technology for you. You better live your lives in peace, because all hell will break loose if you don't. You know, it needs to be done. Something needs to happen.
I completely agree wholeheartedly, 100% with that. The world's gone to shit. There's too much greed. There's too much corruption. There's too much violence. We all know that in certain countries and in certain areas of certain countries, drugs are being done deliberately to control the people. We know this. It's been proved. Plus various other things that are going on. These guys, if they're listening, just calm down here and please say, you lot are all corrupt as hell. You shouldn't be in charge. You shouldn't be in charge of anything. We're going to be in charge. You've got the Galactic Alliance. You guys need to have people that can be trusted.
Well, look at the latest business with the COVID vaccinations, the AstraZeneca vaccination, not as effective as they first told us.
Yeah.
So all those people that went out and got the AstraZeneca vaccine, which I was one of them.
I was one.
Weren't as protected as we were told we would be. But again, that all goes down to the fact that there was no long-term trials done. And the long-term trials, which are normally done, take over 2 years. So because they didn't do them and they rushed them, They told us all, oh, it'll work,
All
it'll
about
work. You would do this. They got paid for it all. The PPE companies were developed from friends of people in power, getting millions of pounds, nice little sort of pocket liners. And then all of a sudden they turn around and go, the AstraZeneca vaccine was not as good as we thought it was.
Well,
So
when you
in
look
other
at
words, what are they saying? That, I don't know, 1.5 million people that had the AstraZeneca vaccine weren't actually protected against COVID virus.
these,
So do we have the right to sue the government for forcing us into having that vaccine that doesn't work?
I think personally, pretty soon, with what's going on at the moment, with all the governments, with the corruption, and with all this ramping up with aliens, there you go, Viv. I think there's going to be martial law coming to certain places, and I think, as I say, things are gearing up, ramping up. People are being dumbed down. I believe that the people are being dumbed down with all this shit that's going on at the moment with the woke stuff and all this crap. I think just it's done on purpose. People are being dumbed down, and it's so that things can happen, and then the government can step in and go, "Oh yes, we'll look after you. We'll do." No. Anybody who thinks that their Bobberman's going to look after them and is going to do this and is going to do that, and they're full of lies. Bullshit, and they say all this stuff to you. You'll vote them in, and as soon as you vote them in, oh no, what we actually meant was, and they go back on everything they've ever said. Fuck a lot of them. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I was talking to someone the other day. We were talking about it was British Legion guy in town the other day, and we were talking about the memorial service down in London, and he was going to be one of many people that were going to head down to the Cenotaph on Sunday. And I said to him, you know, I wish you luck down there because, by all accounts, it's going to kick off.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen various things where that Tony Robinson has been called a coward, yet he did try to get to the Cenotaph, and they did allow him to get there as well. And his lot didn't kick off. It was the Metropolitan Police that caused the problem. But on that side of things, when I was talking to this British Legion guy, I said to him that the problem is when you've got 13,000 homeless ex-vets on the street, begging, the money that has been spent wasted in paying these hotels to house people that shouldn't even be here, you know. And and then I sort of reiterated the fact to my daughter Chloe that when you look at how much money is spent on these hotels, you could get every single homeless serviceman, in fact, every homeless person that's on the street, and get them in their very own home or flat with the money they're spending. £6 million a day is being wasted. Now, if you were to pay £250,000 for one flat for one person, you think of how many people you could home by the end of the year.
That idiot who's just been kicked out of her job in the government, she turned around and tried to do the law that the homeless can't have pop-up tents because they're classed as a luxury. What?
Yeah, she also said it was a life choice.
That's it. What piece of human excrement who sat there in a big house, hang on, mate, he sat there in a big house earning all this money, turns around to people who don't actually choose to be homeless. Most of them don't choose to be homeless. They can't help it. Everybody throws, and now and again gets a curveball thrown at them. Trust me, I know. I've been there. It's shit. And then when you get a twat like that turning around and going, it's a life choice and it's a luxury and they shouldn't be able, you shouldn't be able to be in power. If you just fuck off. And she has. What an absolute
she has, but in her defence, she was the only person in the Conservative Party that was determined to stop the boats coming over.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But a homeless,
the reason why that ultimately is the reason why she's been booted. I bet you anything you like. That's the reason why she's been booted, and Mr. Remain in the EU Cameron has taken her place.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, what the fuck? What the actual fuck? Just.
So we talk about conspiracy theories and everything else. We've got one in power.
It's an old boy network that is all to do with that. and we have the most corrupt government in the world, I think. Yeah, I reckon.
I think they're all in it together. I think they sit there after they've had their Sunday roast. They all sit there in their cosy little armchairs by the fire, and you'll have Rishi Sunak on the phone with Biden in America, Sleepy Joe,
Yeah.
gas bagging away. Next minute, you know, it'll be a conference call with Macron. Then another one with some bloke in Brazil, then another bloke in Nigeria or somewhere else, and they'll all be sitting there on conference call going, so what shit shall we cause this week?
Yeah. Who can we make poorer this time? And then
They play roulette. They
Yeah.
play roulette.
Yeah.
They'll sit there and they go, right, okay, so we've let this die down now. We'll spin the wheel and see which country is going to cause a problem this month. Here we go. Spin the wheel. Place your bets. Who's going to do it this time?
And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, we also talk about conspiracy theories and a lot of things that other places won't dare to touch. Last time we did this, we had all our comments and everything shut down. There's another comment just coming up. I just come up, I was checking, see it hadn't been shut down. But yeah, last time we did this, it shut it all down, didn't it?
Yeah. Yes. And the second we came back on, we got a couple of comments in, and then it got shut down again.
Yeah, that's right. So, is that the time already? Bloody hell, that went by quick. All I can say is,
Cliff's point there. You watch Cameron, who will start visiting the EU countries for deals. We've been dealing with the other EU countries. This is why the EU doesn't like the fact that we've left the Union, because they've actually the financial sector has actually done a study to see how well Britain has fared since leaving the EU, and we have actually done better than what everybody was saying we would. We've actually come out on the plus side, and Great Britain is actually benefiting better from not being in the EU than if we were in the EU. So the UK itself is actually improving, despite what everybody had said and all the Remainers saying, oh, doom and gloom, you know, we're all going to go down the pan. We're not. We're actually getting better.
a little word. Joe, you always come in right as we're just about to close the show, yet you're always on time for everybody else's shows. Why?
Yes, what's going on, Joe? Sort it out. You're supposed to be part of the team, Joe. Sort it.
Sort it out.
We'll have to send the boys round otherwise. You know what I mean?
But yeah, I think at the moment, watch TikTok. I think TikTok and YouTube at the moment for all the stuff that's going on in the American Senate at the moment. They're trying to pass the law to force all the Black Ops to get their stuff out and everything. Keep watching it. There's something coming, and we said this last year. There is something coming, something big. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I don't know. But keep watching.
There is more and more information now also coming out about the original TikTok incidents. TikTok, Tic Tac, even. We'll get it right. Tic Tac.
Yeah.
There was one video I had seen earlier on, and it was from I'm sure it was a captain, had actually shown a video clip of a recreation of the flight path based on what the pilot of the F-15 had seen and was reporting back. And from the radar check, they replayed the radar, and they worked it out on an animated screen to show you the flight path that this object had taken. And no word of a lie, you would not have been a physical human being would not have been able to have survived the maneuvers this aircraft had done. It was literally straight lines, perfect. There was no turn-ins. It was all straight lines.
Yep.
There was no way a human body would have been able to have put up with that.
The G-force in those turns would have just gone.
You would have done.
You have to have an internal damping system. You really would. Right. It is 20 to 11, so we are going to bugger the offie. Did you cover David Cameron make a comeback? Yes, we did, and we think we're going to hell in the handbasket. It's the old boy network. Don't even get me fucking started on these bastards that are in power. It's an old boy network. It's all about this. It's about greasing palms. It's about they're just a bunch of wankers. Do you think there'll be more alien and human communication information for the common people? I think, quite frankly, Viv, it's all out there for us. We just need to get off our asses and research it and look into it and go down the rabbit holes. Don't listen to the Bobberments, because the Bobberments will give you a load of bollocks. They're still trying to lie their heads off, even though we all know they're here.
Yeah, I think they're still trying to push us away from them doing that. But if we actually sort of take it upon ourselves to look for that information, we'll find it.
Yeah,
it's just they don't want us to find it because they'll lose too much control if they did.
Japan airline pilots see aliens quite a lot because they fly over the North Pole to Japan. Actually, yes, the Japanese pilots are the ones that give the most reports on alien sightings. And there's a very interesting one. Oh, look up
Ryanair pilots as well have been seeing a lot recently as well.
Look up Mexico Night of the Aliens. Look up Mexico Night of the Aliens. That happened in the 90s. Very interesting case. But yeah, you watch it back, Joe. Yeah, nice of you to join us at the end of it. It's fine. You go ahead and watch it, love. And if it is your birthday, I'm sure it's not your birthday, but if it is your birthday, happy birthday. But
Joe's not even coming up on my comments. Look,
if you go into the chat room, she's there. Mexico Night of the Aliens. That's it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Is it Joe's birthday? I got no idea.
I didn't think it
No,
was.
is it your birthday?
If it is, it's not on her timeline because it didn't come up on my friends list.
I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was your birthday. Anyway, right. We'll be back next week. In July. We will, whatever we find out, you'll just keep watching the wall on the Facebook wall, and anything that we find we'll put on there anyway. And so do our beavering little crew that work away and find stuff and put on there. We will be having a Christmas show. We'll be having a Christmas show soon in December, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That'll be a good one.
Oh,
well, there you go, Joe. Irene said it was your birthday. I know it's Jacqueline's birthday.
Ellen says, "Is there going to be a Christmas quiz?"
There will be a Christmas quiz, but we need to get somebody else who's not partaking in it to do the questions.
Oh.
We do. We need to get an impartial person to do the questions, not Wayne or myself or our other halves. We need people who are going to stay away from iPads and tablets and things. So we will do that.
Oh no! Thanks for letting us know that one, Irene.
The Year of the Dragon's coming next.
It's the year of my mother next year.
I was just about to say it's the year of ex-mother.
Year of the Dragon.
You want to hope your mum don't watch this.
Yeah, sorry, Mum. I don't mean it honest.
Right, on that note, thank you for joining us. We will see you all next week. And who just said hello, lads? Hang on. Somebody's just come in there and said hello, lads. Who was that? Jamie. We're just going. But, all right, mate.
Jamie.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. And I think there may be the odd video coming up, the odd live coming up, depending on what news that we find out. But keep your eyes peeled. Remember, keep your eyes to the sky. If you see anything, tell us. Send us the videos, whatever. And we have our website as well, www.thedarkmirrorshow.co.uk. So you can always go on there. And the Dark Mirror Radio Show at yahoo.com is our email.
Yahoo.
Right. We're out of here. We've got all sorts of things going on, and young Mr. Wayne and I are going to have a little chat in it because it sounds quite exciting. So we'll do that. Right. See you later, guys.
And I will see you all on Thursday with the To the Grave and Back on the Simply Spooky Network.
That's right. And I think I may possibly be doing a show tomorrow night. I'm not sure because it's my night off where I'm just on my own. So I might do a show with somebody. I don't know. Right. See you later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye, driver. Bye bye.
See ya.